We had a lady over Saturday night, and it was hilarious because she was a tall lady.
Wait, let me clap really quick. Don't finish, and then here, hang on. Okay, finish your story. Keep going.
Nothing. We just embarrassed a tall woman by putting her in a tiny chair.
I mean, you were embarrassing me like every week. It's almost it's the right size for my girlfriend would look right at home in that.
Yeah,
I'm sure Lily looks normal in a
They're
little
girl
chair.
chairs.
There are girl chairs. This is girl decor for sure.
They just
Look
need
what I found.
They need a fucking little dildo right there.
Yeah.
Be a girl chair.
Lily did bring them home.
Yeah.
That was her thing. But the thing is like, you need girl decor in your apartment because if it was just me, it would just be boxes and garbage.
Boxes and an air mattress.
Yeah.
No. My apartment is all girl decor, but she's got me trained now. Where if I see trash in an alley, I bring it home.
Okay. They love trash.
Your process is is there any way this could be of any usefulness to us? Nope, I'm taking it.
Well, I found I lugged a huge not desk, not a dresser, but like a desk. It's some brand of desk from the 1960s. Apparently, this thing's worth $2,000. And
wow.
Because she has me so trained, I saw this. I'm like, this is trash that my girlfriend would like, and it turns out it's really valuable. So,
girls are like robins. They're picking up just shit. If something's wicker and covered in mold, then it's gonna be a whole week of trying to clean all the shit off of it.
It's like trying to befriend a crow.
My girlfriend literally wants to be friends with a crow.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen?
Noah's trying to befriend some crows right now.
I've got a bird feeder out there. It empties after a day and a half, so I got to keep feeding it. But we're getting cardinals and blue jays and shit like that. Ben's been sitting out on the porch with a handful of seeds to come hang out.
Crows have crazy intelligence. There was a crow with an injured wing. I don't know if it was full grown or a baby, but we were walking through Lakeview. And there was a crow with an injured wing sitting on a fence. This thing looked at. This crow fucking knows who I am. This is a smart bird. You can see it in their eyes. They eat bats. Apparently, they're carnivorous.
Crows eat bats.
Yes, they were my girlfriend was telling me she works downtown, and there were bat parts on the street or something, and it was explained to her that it's because crows will eat bats.
Well, okay,
maybe I'm completely misremembering the story.
I believed you immediately, but the second you showed doubt, I was ready to doubt it.
I think crows eat bats. I do.
At the risk of spilling out all my autism, but crows are really smart, but they're also dinosaurs. Birds in general are dinosaurs, and they're fucking finding if you find a beheaded small animal, it was a bird.
It was a bird.
I was walking through my neighborhood one time, and there was the head of a bunny, but it wasn't bloody. It was just the head, and then I was like, "What?" And then I saw a hawk 2 blocks away with the body of a bunny.
Well, a hawk.
It had just decapitated it though.
A hawk, I understand, because you associate hawks with swooping and fucking.
Yeah.
A crow is
Tua.
Hawk. Yeah, that's very true. A crow is I don't know that I associate crows with bloodlust, but I guess maybe that's why Edgar Allan Poe thinks they're so scary.
Yeah. Well, they peck eyes out a lot, right? Isn't that the
do they
mythology thing? Yeah. Well, that's why the eyes get pecked out first because they're the tastiest part of a corpse.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
I also didn't know. Did you know that there's no crows and ravens are the same?
Halloween spooky episode.
This is not. I'll get this out. You know what? Fuck it. I'll put this out on Halloween. We'll do it a day early. Yeah. Cool. We should have worn costumes, man.
Yeah.
That would have been tight. Who's your costume?
I don't know. I don't have one yet.
No.
I'm in a evolution of sex, an honors evolution of sex class right now. Not to brag.
What is evolution of sex life? It's the first 800 years are just rape.
Yeah, and pretty much. Honestly, the evolution of rape 101 doesn't have as good of a ring to it. But
man asked somebody, "Hey, did you come too?"
Yeah, we had language for 3,000 years before a man even bothered to ask a woman if she wanted to have sex.
Yeah, so it's actually it's not just about human. It's just animals, like just the evolution of sexual reproduction in animals and stuff.
Oh,
but one of the
interesting.
things we're learning about is like sneaker males and like different mating strategies in different species. So I wanted to be a sneaker male because my class meets on Halloween. So I wanted to get like a vote for Kamala shirt or like a male feminist shirt and be a sneaker male.
I see.
Because a sneaker male, they basically like adopt feminine qualities to get. That's their strategy to get in with the women.
We've
And
covered this, dude. I didn't know there was evolutionary theory to this.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
kind of cool.
That is kind of cool, man.
yeah.
Guys have been gay for pussy since the dawn of time.
Exactly. It's innate. We're instinctually gay
That's
for pussy.
incredible. You know what? Maybe trans people are real. You know what I mean? Maybe we are way too caught up on like gender roles and being straight.
Ghosts
and
are
all this
real.
stuff.
Trans people are real.
Yes, I mean 100% ghosts are real.
No.
It is funny. I do
I
always
genuinely believe both of those things.
think it,
For the record.
I do too. It's funny, like
You guys believe in ghosts?
yeah, absolutely.
Okay, all right,
Absolutely.
I do too. I feel embarrassed by it, but I've had, the otherworldly.
Definitely.
Okay, cool.
I hate people who say that they're not. Well, I hate people who say they aren't scared of ghosts because it's like, no, you mean you think you don't believe in ghosts? You're scared of ghosts, dude.
Yeah.
Even if you didn't believe, if a ghost showed up, you'd be shitless.
If you felt like one was there,
You'd
it'd
be terrified.
Yeah.
No, I have deep respect for ghosts.
Do you have any
have
ghosts?
to.
Should we do ghost stories?
I mean, I wonder if I've told. I have had some crazy like. When my buddy Carson comes to town, we'll have him on the podcast because he has like crazy paranormal stories. But I've had ghost experiences. I've also just had like sleep paralysis and then like waking. Like I've told this story on another podcast and I won't get into it now. But like I've got a friend who teaches at a Waldorf school. Do you guys know what Waldorf schools are?
Yeah.
There's one. in
Lily
Chicago.
went to Waldorf. Yeah.
Oh, so she's a Waldorf kid.
Yeah,
so
she's a Waldorf kid.
So like at those schools, they'll like talk to you about like your past lives and stuff. Like it's like
Okay.
Rudolf Steiner. I mean, maybe she hasn't talked about this with you, but like
No, not that part. She's just like not being able to read until the 5th grade. Just like they teach you how to like dance with flowers and knit, and before you can like tie your shoes.
well, yeah, like Rudolf Steiner, the guy who like founded like the I don't know if he like I think he founded the school itself, but like he was like into like mystic. I think he was like into I don't know if it's mysticism or whatever, but like
Sure.
he was into like communing with like spirits and other realms and all this stuff. So like
I didn't know that.
she would have conversations with like her students unprompted would like come up to her and like tell her about like memories that they had from like before they were born. And her and I were having a conversation about this. This is a long looping story because it lined up with like she went on this like retreat in Australia and like with a guy who was like a Reiki healer and there were like beings came to them like in the night and like he could see them and he was like, yeah, they're working on you, all this shit. And this kid described basically exactly what she saw. And then while she was telling me this story, I had a totally sober like acid flashback that
damn.
lasted for like 30 minutes. Like
Wow.
like in the middle of it, I was like, I don't know what's happening. I was like, I'm tripping right now, like hard visuals. She goes, yeah, it's okay. I am too. It happens every time I tell this story. And I was like, this is fucking. So like that's like the craziest experience that I've ever.
Ask Noah about pendulums. That's all I'm gonna say.
Tell me about pendulums, dude.
I had an
See,
ex-girlfriend.
immediately uncomfortable.
It made me very uncomfortable. I had an ex-girlfriend who used to try to communicate with Hitler, and like, she was like
knows how to
this
pick
she was this like agoraphobic woman who I think she got caught up in some shit or something, and
Whoa.
she's out there. I don't know what her deal is. She's Filipino and she pretends to be Japanese.
We call her
online.
the one that got away.
Yeah, but she used to try to communicate to Hitler with like pendulums and shit, and I got freaked out while she was doing it because I grew up religious, I
Was she lying about being Japanese so that Hitler would like?
I feel like I would have freaked out.
I'm trying to get the Axis powers back together.
I would have
Adolf.
gotten that anxiety when someone's calling someone. And you're like, well, what am I going to say? Like, I'm like, fuck. Wait, it's actually about to be him on the other line? Because I feel like everyone talks a big game, but you actually, you get
Yeah.
Hitler on the tube. It's like,
You
what are
wanna
you going to
impress
say? How you just get, yeah.
Our mutual friend took her pendulum, and then we went to me and my friend were in her room because she had been hearing noises, like somebody had been like like knocking against the walls and all this shit. So she was asking questions like, "Is there somebody in the room with us?" And it would go whichever direction is yes, and then it was like, "Do you mean me harm?" And it said yes, and I was like, "What the fuck are you doing? Stop talking to him. This is not cool." And for some reason, my friend, she decided to get me a pendulum for my birthday one year. And I just left it in the glove box of my car.
Yeah.
I never took it out. And then I got the car repoed with the pendulum in there just so I
Smart.
never had to touch it.
Dude, it's one thing to be like, I'm going to contact a spirit. To go straight to Hitler is crazy.
Yeah, well, she
you
was
imagine?
not a dope person. She wasn't like thinking, let's start small. But
To be like, to have to tell somebody my house is haunted, and that's not the worst part.
I think
Yeah.
I think it would be really funny to have somebody trying to communicate like with Hitler, and the whole time you're assuming that they're gonna just like have some beef to settle, or like just start calling him out, and then they get through to Hitler, and they're like, "Oh my god, such a big fan," and you're like, "Okay, I misinterpreted this."
That would be the most startling, because you think about seeing a ghost, all these things. But could you imagine if you saw a ghost and it was like full Nazi garb Adolf Hitler? That's a funny image, dude.
Yeah.
I might actually not be scared if I saw that.
I think also I would, not be afraid.
I think the absurdity of it, I think, would just make me laugh really hard.
my mom has an experience she thinks was with a Confederate soldier, which is in the same realm.
I love that Noah's like, I got a history with racist ghosts. Dude.
Racist
It's
ghosts.
all
Well, I mean, honestly, most of time was racist.
Yeah.
So
fair. That's
there's
true.
there's,
true.
there's only been about like 30 years for non-racist ghosts to even have a chance to be made.
Oh, could
Yeah.
you imagine woke ghosts? We're coming up on woke ghosts. That's
Yeah.
gonna be a mess, dude.
Yeah. Just non-binary spirits.
Yeah.
You call something retarded and they slam a cabinet.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that would actually. You know what? That would be kind of nice.
I feel like it would keep me like a little more honest. Sometimes I just sometimes I get ashamed of the things that I
Yeah.
just like let fly now.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
Yeah, just have a black ghost around, keep you in check. You know, stay on your toes.
He's rattling gold chains. Yeah. We knew I was gonna say it.
Got to stop saying the N-word in the shower.
Also, I hope you guys don't mind that I changed the name of the group chat to the Brothers.
I
No,
mind
I
a
love
little.
that.
No, I'm just
Good.
kidding.
That's how I
like
feel
it.
about you guys.
Yeah.
No, I like it.
Yeah.
I think that's solid.
Yeah, man.
Oh my god, I had stuff I wanted to talk about with you guys and it just flew out of my head, man. Are you guys actually, to keep it on spooky talk, since we'll make this Halloween episode, are you guys doing anything for Halloween? I don't think I'm doing anything.
I want to so bad. I want to have a good I haven't had a good Halloween since I was 18.
Oh, you know what? Let me
Like,
invite you, dude. Same, because I've been too poor to
Yeah.
like even get a costume together, and we got the cat with the cancer treatment now. We're like broke. But you guys ever been to Logan Arcade?
No.
No.
All right, maybe you should come out. Maybe producer Zach too.
Yeah. Let's go do that.
Halloween-
Can I bring
Producer
Lily?
Zach wants
Is
to
that cool
battle.
with you?
Of course, yeah, dude. I'll destroy producer Zach at Street Fighter 3. But no, it's if you've never been there, it's cool. It's a barcade, but like which yeah, I'm a millennial who likes a barcade, but they got good drinks, they got good food, and on Halloween they deck it out with decorations. And they have like a wall of like old tube TVs just playing like horror movies.
Nice.
It's
That's
pretty awesome.
dope.
We'll
I
go.
also these girls came into my job the other day and were drinking and invited me to their Halloween party that's like in the neighborhood.
Oh well, you should go to that. I think.
Well, we should go. I'm not going by myself. I don't know.
No, as a single man, you need to go and you need to get some
Strange.
strength. Yes, you need to
Well-
get some painted, some body painted.
Why
Like
don't
witch
you guys
pussy.
just come cheat?
Absolutely. Never. On the podcast? We're doing this on the podcast?
No, I mean obviously joking, but
No, you need to go off and have you need to go have a sexual conquest and then report back. Well, us. And you know what? We're gonna send Zach with you as like a Vietnam
and Zach.
photographer.
yeah, dude. I'll set Zach up.
Said Zach. You know what? My goal with this podcast is at the end of it, we're all rich and Zach has a supermodel wife.
Yeah,
I want you shacked up with a bimbo by the time we're done, dude.
Zach needs to have at least 2 STDs by the time we're done. Incurable ones.
Incurable STDs.
No, So that's I don't know, that's an option we could go.
All right, I don't know if I mean, maybe, yeah.
You know,
maybe we could
because
do that.
I don't want to go to a party alone because then I have to socialize. And I like going to a party with the friends. I like going with a small group of friends and only talking to the people that I came there with.
No, you gotta break
And
out
talking
of your shell,
shit.
dude.
Yeah.
I actually really miss being like just like a single guy in a new city for that, just like throwing, because I'm like, if I have something like a friend group that I can fall back on, I will be antisocial. But if I have to be like, if I have to throw myself into a new situation, it's like it pushes me to talk to people. I don't have that anymore.
My problem is I still
don't
will
have
be
that.
antisocial. I'll sit
Yeah.
on the floor in the corner.
Really?
I do the same thing. I go full autism. I completely draw in. Dude, I did a show at the Den Theater like 2 weeks ago, and there had to have been like 70 comics in the green room.
Really?
And somebody came up and asked me what was wrong. It was like I don't have it in me to extrovert. I can't do it.
Around comics, I did this last night at fucking up there was like a table of comics, and I was like, I'm not sitting with them, and nothing against them, man. Like I like all these people, but I'm like, I'm gonna sit over here and fucking. But then the problem is, people do think you're being like, you know,
Yeah.
not. Maybe they don't think you're being any worse than like being aloof. Like, but I do think some of them probably think you think your shit doesn't stink or something.
Okay.
I feel like I don't know if I like comics. I like you guys.
Same.
But I think lately I've been thinking like when I started doing comedy, I was like, man, comics, like
Nah.
this tribe of misfits, like my friends are funnier than yours. And then now I'm like, this is the gayest group of people. Not gay as in homosexual, like gay as in, you know,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
way we
As
use
in
it.
Gay as in retarded.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because I don't know, like I not to like bring it to some dumb topical
let's
thing,
do it,
but
dude.
I'm not a big Tony Hinchcliffe fan.
Oh, now
But
we're
just
into it.
watching every comic make a dumb Facebook post like I never liked Tony Hinchcliffe, followed by a paragraph that I refuse to read.
Yeah.
It just makes me. Yeah, just what a horrible group of people.
It sucks. The community aspect of comedy is cringe.
Yeah.
It's not what I signed up for.
Or maybe the culture around it has changed. Like the culture of comedians now is so. Yeah, I don't know. Like I think maybe because of the comedy explosion,
Yeah.
it's not. I think it used to be sifted down to really it was just fuck ups.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of not fuck ups.
Everybody's a
in
comedian,
comedy
yeah.
now, and they're ruining it.
Yeah, it's I can't believe I picked it as my identity. If I to go back, I wouldn't do it again. I would just go straight to podcasting.
I guess
honestly.
yeah. I guess
would just
I guess
skip
my
comedy.
point is that like I've always thought like Hinchcliffe was kind of a smug cunt.
Everybody thinks that.
Yeah. But the idea of waiting until he gets in trouble for something and then immediately like just jumping on like everyone's gonna make a post about
Yeah.
like that really I lost respect for
I
comedy.
did love seeing John Stewart defend Tony Hinchcliffe.
I like
Yeah,
that too, man.
was
That's what
dope.
I'm saying.
John
we should defend each other. you
John
know?
Stewart. Well, I don't defend Tony because I just like I don't think you need to. I don't think there needs to be like a it's not like.
The thing he said so much worse shit than the Puerto Rican
Well,
is
I just don't care about. Like my thing is like I don't give a shit about Tony. I don't think he's funny. I didn't like. Everybody had a way stronger reaction to that than I did.
Mm-hmm.
But I have admired how like Stewart throughout this whole thing has been taking like the most interesting stance.
Yeah.
And it was in service of a good joke too.
Always
that
does.
was why he said that.
Okay.
Because it was to juxtapose. He goes, you hired a roast, like having a roast comic not tell jokes would be like hiring Beyonce and having her not because she didn't perform at the
Yeah.
Kamala.
Yeah.
So I'm like, and it was in service of a good joke. So I'm like, that's just what you should. That's a good joke.
Yeah.
You're taking the opposite angle of like the status
That
quo.
is why Jon Stewart is like, I would vote for him for president. You know, I've been
There's a
watching.
movie about this.
I've honestly been watching, like, getting my news from Jon Stewart for my whole life. Like,
Yes.
except he went away for a bit, and you saw what happened when Jon Stewart went away.
Yeah.
it was like winter.
It
Like
was.
it was like the sun didn't come back up for 8 years, and then he came back, and I felt immediately better. But you know, it's because remember during COVID and shit, Jon Stewart came on. He went on Colbert and
Oh, yeah.
He was the first person.
He said
that
it came from a lab.
Yeah, he was the first person on like the left, and he said that on fucking Colbert.
So
and,
based, dude.
And Colbert got so fucking flustered after
yeah.
all that, dude.
Well, it's
But
just
yeah.
it's funny to watch like the guy who like just became a like to be the guy who like he's a shell of his former self being confronted by like his better counterpart
yes.
who never. Although I mean like Jon Stewart hasn't stayed totally authentic to himself. There were some pretty bad episodes of his Apple TV show, but like yeah, no, I respect him. You can't pin him down. Like he doesn't cow to any like party thinking.
Yeah, he doesn't abandon logic for ideology.
It totally. I was saying it came from a lab. Everybody was telling me I was crazy for thinking it came from a lab. I'm like, of course it came. It's racist to think it came from a bat, dude.
Yeah.
You think they're eating bats?
Yeah, you ate a fucking armadillo,
They're like-
and now we all have this.
Dude, like, don't be. It didn't come from a lab. They couldn't have. Their tiny Chinese minds couldn't have designed. Obviously,
Yeah.
they're eating wet bats in an open air market. It's like that is way more racist.
Yeah.
Dude. Yeah, and they were all squatting.
Well,
They
that
were all
is really.
squatting and eating fucking.
That is why Asian women walk until they're 110 years old because they're out squatting, smoking in front of like fucking food for less. Dude, when we
I think
I
it's-
used to
I think it's
practice
'cause-
my squat. I used to work next to a Chinese restaurant, and I'd see those guys out there, and they all looked so fucking cool.
They're so cool.
And I would, I'd find like chicken feet on the ground all the time and stuff,
Yeah.
and I'd see.
He's like-
the.
They're not far. They went north.
Yeah, dude. they would sit out in the parking lot and smoke cigarettes squatting, and so I would go out on my breaks and I'd squat behind my car so they didn't see me and know I was like copying their cool.
He would squat and squint his eyes.
But I got a good squat on me.
Yeah.
The China people also call it the Slav squat, but I think the Slavic countries in Asia are close to each other, right?
I
why,
think
like-
it's just like the oppressive government squat. If you think about it.
yeah, it's like you're trying to get as low. You're trying to avoid the cameras.
It's
the facial scanners.
It's the communist squat. Yeah.
I mean, one of the funniest things when we first I moved out to LA like almost 9 years ago at this point with my buddy Tim, and we would go to like Chinatown. So in Chinatown, they have all of these like illegal. There was like this place that used to be like a 5-story mall, and like all the legit stores moved out, and it's just like it was just rows and rows of like Chinese knockoff goods, like toys, clothes, everything. And we were buying something in there, and Tim was asking one Asian woman something about something he was going to buy, and then he turned away and she left, and another Asian woman came up and took her place, and he started talking to her as if she was the other Asian woman.
Yeah. They're like shark teeth. They replace themselves.
And it took him a minute to realize what was happening and her a minute to realize what was happening, and then he went, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I thought," like he's stumbling over himself, and the woman just goes, "That's okay." Like the same. And like laughed like an insane person and walked away. It was so funny.
Yeah, dude. White women are the ones without a sense of humor.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You know what though? At the end, once the doors are locked and the lights are out, white women laugh at some wild shit.
Yeah.
That's true.
Like white
That's
women.
true.
White women. All women basically have like. They're leading a double life basically. You have the way they are when they're out with like their girls and their gays, and then like they come home to you and they unload everything that they really think.
Yeah.
And it's one of the most pleasurable parts of being in a relationship.
I've been kind of radicalizing myself on YouTube to hate women. Like, you ever find like the wrong channel? Like it's always named something kind of innocent, like psychology hacks, and then like every video is like why women overestimate their sexual marketplace value or
Yeah.
whatever, and you're like, man, dude, this guy's making some great points right
It's-
now. It's like the pendulum's gonna swing back around, and no, I don't know.
Those are those videos where it's like, I've seen the ones where it's like they analyze like talk show guests, and it's like, do these it's like 3 simple tricks to make everybody bow to you.
Yeah.
To make everybody obey your, like charisma on command, I think is the one.
Yeah.
While I'm trying to sleep, I keep hearing black Israelites coming out
Yeah.
of fucking Ben's room.
Yep, I got a sick algorithm.
Yeah.
Those guys are awesome.
Quincy, what are you doing?
Those guys are the ultimate. Those guys are like,
Black Israelites?
it's like, those guys would all be rich if they just went straight into like, because it's like you've already nailed the hardest part of like cold calling. Like you're doing it to like people on the street for something that's not even real. If you had an actual product, you'd be swimming in it, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they look cool. They always got like Louis C.K. glasses on.
She saw a black Israelite out there. Got her well trained.
Quincy, I agree. They are the real Jews. I agree. They are like black Israelites are like the coolest, like because they've all like it's always like they have like a bow tie and then like a hat from like I don't know what like Northern Africa like
They can really do whatever they want. I feel like that's like the.
Oh yeah, they can say anything to women.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
incredible.
I
Yeah.
feel like they should always have that powder that explodes in their hands.
Flash paper.
Like when it go like that. You know?
Smoke bombs. If I was a black Israelite, I would have smoke
God,
bombs.
Black Israelites should have the same loadout as like ninjas. Like you give black like smoke bombs.
Lay down.
They should have little
Throwing
hooks
stuff.
on the bottom of their shoes so they can run up walls.
To escape, yeah, so they can set up like
Sticky
at a
pads
moment's
on their
notice.
fingers.
You're like,
Yeah.
what's that sound? It sounds like leaves rustling, and the black Israelites are just like there,
Yeah.
accosting people.
If they had costumes, dude, they're one step away from being a real threat. Like,
Oh, they-
the FBI, if black Israelites just started wearing matching clothes, you know, I feel like the CIA would be like, all right, these guys are becoming a problem.
There is definitely like a loose outfit for black Israelites. They don't all look the same, but there's like a realm of clothes that they like.
What is their real thing anyway? Because I just
Purple
know
suits.
they stand around in New York and they talk about how white people are the devil.
Yeah,
right?
and they call white women sluts, and it's
Yeah.
I mean, and go off honestly. Like I get it.
Think about how many numbers they probably get though too.
A lot of them believe that white people are aliens, or like they're not, or they're like actual demons
Created by
like,
Yakub, or do they believe in Dr. Yakub, or am I thinking of something else?
I'm not sure. And I might be mixing a bunch of other shit
So
together.
there's this
too.
belief that there was like this ancient black scientist, Dr. Yakub, who does look like he's like a black guy with like his brain is so big that his like head has like veins in it and stuff.
Okay.
And they claim that like white people are demons that he like created in a lab.
Okay.
And then like unleashed onto the world.
Nice.
Oh,
Which is
yeah.
pretty like that is a pretty cool origin story. I'll take
Yeah.
it.
Fucking. They also. They got a lot of weird shit about you guys.
Yeah.
They don't like you
Because they think they're the true Jews.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then there was oh, they also have like a bunch of conspiracies about major like historical figures being actually black. And
Yeah.
they've been
Beethoven?
whitewashed by Beethoven.
That's my
Abraham
favorite
Lincoln.
one.
Some of them, sometimes I see it. I look at the old pictures and I'm like, he
Yeah?
might be black,
Yeah,
dude.
a little bit. He's probably.
Beethoven was like Drake, the original.
There was a guy. This was like a thing that I experienced, and apparently common. Like I don't know if you call it the Mandela effect or what, but like a lot of people think Babe Ruth is black, and he's like, this is like I thought this when I was little. I've searched online. Other people thought Babe Ruth is black. I think partially it's his name. Babe Ruth is that sounds very black. You know what I mean? A white guy calling himself Babe, last name Ruth, and then also there is a book. There was a children's book that we grew up with called Babe and Me about this kid who like lives in the Depression and like he has like a run-in with Babe Ruth, and they draw Babe Ruth pretty black in this book, and I think it like affected an entire generation.
Well, I read those books. It was about the kid who had a magical deck of baseball cards, and he could go. There was Babe and Me. There was Jackie and Me.
Was it a
Mickey and Me.
series?
Yeah, it's a series, and he would go back in time. The card would let him go back in time, and then he would go. He goes to goes back to Jackie Robinson and like sees his wife naked.
What? Okay,
Yeah.
I'm thinking mine is like a picture book. I might be thinking of another Babe Ruth book,
The other thing though is that there's photographs of Babe Ruth.
and he looks kind of black.
I mean,
Be honest.
they're black and white photographs. I feel like we would be able to tell if he was black.
The first time I got confused is like there was this movie, I forget which movie. My parents like rented me a movie, and there's a scene in it where like the character like Babe Ruth comes to him like in a dream, and Babe Ruth is white, and I'm like, and like as a kid I was like, is Babe Ruth's race open to like do people not agree if he was black or white?
I think you just
yeah,
thought Babe
I
Ruth
was
was black.
wrong. No,
Yeah.
but other people have too. I'm telling you. If you
Yeah.
go on Reddit, there's a bunch of people who are like, I could have sworn Babe Ruth was black.
That is
And
the
I'm like,
Mandela effect.
I'm like, was the league even integrated when Babe Ruth was playing?
The Berenstein
Is that the
Bears.
Sandlot?
Yeah, where he comes, he's all
Sandlot?
fuzzy.
Yes, it's the Sandlot.
Greatest movie
Love
of
the
all
Sandlot.
time.
Yeah.
We should
Wow.
watch that again
fucking
recently.
solid. Have you seen what Yeah looks like now?
They all look rough. dude.
It's fucking crazy. Yeah got into steroids bad.
Yeah.
He's fucking massive.
Now
He
he's
looks
called Tren
crazy.
But
Because I actually remember thinking that the reveal of the Sandlot was going to be that who's the guy who just died?
James Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones was Babe Ruth.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what you
This
thought.
is how deep it went for me, dude. It was fucking retarded.
That pool scene was very formative for me. I feel like
it's hot.
Wendy Peppercorn.
Wendy Pepper lotion, oily lotion. I can't take this anymore. And then he goes and drowns himself.
They don't make movies like that anymore for like to make little movies with the express goal of making little boys horny.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, where are those movies?
Yeah, where are my horny boys? I want to see big budget horny boys.
They made a movie about two like boys who created a sex robot, didn't they? What was it?
Oh no, they Weird Science.
Yeah.
yeah. They just make it. She's a woman. They like make her out of a computer,
Why would two young boys create a woman?
and then they
To
don't
talk to her?
They don't
Come
fuck
on.
her. Like it's crazy because like it's like that movie should be just like they like create her and then like imprison her and like do whatever they
Yeah,
want.
but in
with
the book they fuck her. All right? I like that. There's a book that they turned into a movie, and the book is just like fucking smut.
Yeah, but yeah, no, there's a dearth. I'll go as far as there's a dearth of like movies aimed at like the, you know, the object of prepubescent boys' desires. Like we don't have it anymore. That's why
Yeah.
nobody's having sex anymore.
Yeah. We need to fill the dearth
We do need to fill the dearth, dude.
with a girth of new films for.
I was watching some movie. What was it? Was it Avalon or was it? There's like this trilogy of Baltimore movies, and it's got some good like horny kid stuff. Zach would know this shit. You know. Barry Levinson did like all these Baltimore movies. There's one where the kid like it's a Jewish family and like it was pretty funny. Like it's Halloween. And he surprises his Halloween costume as Adolf Hitler, and his mom was just like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "You can't go out in the neighborhood like that." It's very funny. We need more of that.
I should have done that as a kid. I could have got away with it.
You would make an interesting Hitler because you're like handsome. You're like tall and handsome and like. All right, well I take it all back. It would be weird to see like a Hitler who looks like he listens to like Attack or like at the drive-in or
Yeah,
whatever.
you see Hitler and you're like, fuck, dude, I think me and Hitler would have hung out.
Why does Hitler look like such a pussy?
Yeah.
What is?
Do you imagine like
Hitler has like cuff dickies.
Eva Braun has like Suicide Girl tattoos?
Yeah.
Get it? All right.
Yeah.
The original Suicide
was
Girl,
good.
Eva Braun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we do. You know what? Yeah. Hitler.
It's funny too to just have quiet thoughts about Hitler and not just be like, you know what?
I just want to see. I'm like
This one's for me. Yeah, I'm gonna keep
I'm not
this
going to say that
inside.
out loud, but I'm liking what I'm seeing in my head right now.
was a great guy. I wish he was still here. I do wish we like. In my head, I'm like, we reimagined the Disney princesses as like the hot topic. I'm like, let's see it for Hitler, dude. Let's see the hot topic Hitler. I would like to see that.
You know, it'd be a funny idea for a movie is like Hitler gets somehow reborn into modern times.
Yes.
And they're like, we're gonna like the goal is to like kill him or something or prevent the Holocaust, and then he just like ends up in a really like cool friend group.
Yeah.
And he ends up just like totally being not. Yeah, I don't know.
The movie's called Stand by Hitler.
Isn't there a movie called like He's Back?
It's like Hitler Borat.
Yes, Hitler like comes back. Yeah.
Nice. Never Again 2. Never Again, the sequel.
No, I mean I don't condone. I wouldn't hang out.
I
with
don't
Hitler. I
condone
wouldn't do
genocide
that.
either, but you know, just saying. Dude, you know what's they started putting out those Hitler speeches with where he's like speaking
The
English.
translated one, and all
Yeah.
the Zoomers are like, "Who is this beautiful man?"
Yeah.
All the Zoomers can't
Frightening.
believe it. They're like, if you listen to what he's saying, it makes a lot of sense. I'm like,
Yeah.
They did the same thing with the Osama letter too. They're like, what I saw one that was like, this man Osama bin Laden ate for real, dude. Like he said it all.
Hell yeah, dude.
Which, like, look, Osama, listen, that letter is not incoherent. I'll say that much, all right? It's the man could write, for sure.
The man knew how to put together
Or
a manifesto.
At the very least, his CIA handler could write. But somebody deserves credit for a well-written manifesto.
Yeah. I don't know. Osama.
It's been nice hanging out with. I'm gonna talk about you, even though you're not on the podcast. It's been nice hanging out with producer Zach because like, Zach is like 10 years younger than me, and he's very online. And I thought I like grew up very online.
Yeah.
And Zach just started like last night we were at a mic, and he just started like. He started saying stuff that like was blowing my mind. He's like, Obama started all those, like he started bombing the Middle East because he couldn't get anything done like on American soil. I was like, what? He was like, yeah, he was bored. Like he was trying to pass like bill and they wouldn't go through, so he just started like bombing.
Just threw a
Libya.
temper tantrum.
I was like, he did. He was like, yeah, you can read all this shit online. I was like, I had no idea, dude.
Stomping his feet. Yeah.
Yeah.
What year were you born, Zach?
2001.
2001.
2001. Was this post 9/11 or?
Post 9/11. Yeah.
You're a post 9/11,
Yeah,
dude. You didn't. So you weren't. Man, that's crazy that you weren't there.
Yeah. We were 4, so yeah.
Yeah, well, we've talked about our 9/11 experiences on this podcast, but
Yeah.
I'm like, it blows my mind that you are after 9/11.
I bartend, so I check people's IDs and it says like 2003. I'm like, all right, here's your fucking old fashioned, like
Yeah.
crazy. I don't know. It is also, we're going to get to a point where the fact that we were born in the 1900s is going to like,
It's
we're
crazy.
going to be archaic.
Yeah.
It's going to be like meeting someone who was born in 1897.
We already are that way because we're like people who were born before automobiles because we were born pre-cell phone, and that's as big a revolution as cars were.
I don't know if we were pre-cell phone.
Yeah,
We were
we definitely were.
You were
because
born. If you were born
I
in the
remember-
90s, you were before the cell phone.
97.
Yeah, we were.
I think they had the like Singular and AT&T and
But
shit
They
like
had
that.
the bricks.
But not cell phones in the sense that like the cell phones that the smartphones that like changed
pre-smartphone?
the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before everyone had one in their pocket. Like I remember the whole transition. I remember Firefly. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
Because I was like, the whole thing when we were like 5th grade, 6th grade was everyone trying to convince your parents to get you a cell phone. And my mom was like, you can get a Firefly.
Firefly,
You
dude.
can call me and one other person.
I think I had a.
And I was like, fuck that. And
I had a Razor.
yeah, the Motorola Razor. I remember riding around on my bike with my like basketball shorts, the ones everyone used to wear, like that, and then just feeling the weight of the Razor in my pocket, feeling like a god.
I had a Razor that I couldn't use it. It didn't have service, but my friend gave it to me because he got like a sidekick.
The
So he had,
sidekick. I remember the sidekick. dude.
those man, the blackest phone that you could get. That you could get.
Well, you flip it and it like goes like it like flips out. I thought that was so cool, dude. It's like a switchblade.
And so I would just use this Motorola Razor to like play like Java games. Like they ported like Sonic the Hedgehog or something. It was horrible. It was a bad experience.
I had Guitar Hero on my Samsung Propel. That
my
shit
God,
ruled.
dude.
That was
Also,
that was so
Propel.
cool.
Whatever happened to Propel, dude?
Yeah,
I don't
the
know.
drink.
Yeah.
The moms must be so sad.
That was like my childhood. Propel.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever play the? There was a cell phone. There was like a cell phone console, the N-Gage.
No.
Because fuck the Nokia N-Gage was like I wanted one so bad. It was before like the DS. It was like around the same time as the Game Boy, but it was a cell phone that you could turn sideways and had like a screen, and you could play Splinter Cell on it in like
Oh,
2003.
damn.
N-Gage sounds like something someone's gonna shove in your pee hole.
It does, yeah.
People would be like, we're gonna move on to the N-Gage and start sweating. Yeah.
yeah.
No, but I remember watching a kid on an airplane watch Pitch Black on a
Yes.
on a PSP, and thinking he was the coolest fucking kid I'd ever met. I think he was like a year younger than me, and he had cornrows. He was a white kid with cornrows, and he was watching Pitch Black. I remember seeing blood on his PSP.
I remember, dude. I was using my PSP. I thought I was a genius because the PSP had a web browser on it, so I started like downloading porn on it.
Yeah.
Dude, my PSP was loaded up with porn. Not all of it was. Some of it was hentai. I'll be honest.
You turned it to Trump there for a second. You're like, not all of it.
To be totally honest, 80 to 90% of it was Naruto hentai. But and I thought I was so slick. I was like, "Fuck yes, dude!" And then like the next day on like Fox News, they were like, "PSP, PlayStation porn. What your kids are using their gaming console?" And I was like, "God damn it!" But I flew too close to the sun because I was so excited that I had porn on my PSP. I was like, I gotta show everybody on the bus. I
Yeah.
was like, the people on the bus have to know what I'm doing.
Did you get caught?
Yeah, I showed everybody the porn on the bus, and they were all like, "What the fuck is wrong?" Like, we went into school, and they just like the first teacher they saw, they're like, "Nick has porn on his PSP." I was like,
Yeah.
"Don't tell them that, please. Don't tell them that."
This is why we can't have nice things.
Yeah,
Back then, we used to think clearing our history like did something. You remember? The more innocent time.
Well, I didn't know how to clear history, so what I would do is I would just Google a bunch of shit in a row. So when you went to the search bar, it wouldn't show up. Like Harry Potter wands, Harry Potter,
Yeah. Wardrobe
real
malfunction.
swords.
I had that same. I like didn't reset the cookies or the history, and like one day my dad just like called me up to the computer room. And he was like, Nick, the stuff that you've been looking at on the computer. I'm like, yeah. He's like, stop looking at it, please. Please stop. And then the next week he was like, hey, I set up, you have your own account on the Mac. just log into your account when you want to use the computer.
Yeah, he wasn't mad at that you were looking at porn. He just didn't identify with the categories that you chose.
I think he saw like the end, like the Bible's length of like fucking like website history. He was like, I can't even. I have to quarantine this.
You've typed boys 100 times. Just fucking.
He was like, Nick, I know you're a growing boy, but black.com, really?
He's like, it's too late to the genie's out of the bottle. I just have to like contain this and like a.
Do you guys remember the name of the first porn site you ever went on?
Yes. What was it?
Twisties.
Oh, that's later. That's actually like that's like a production company.
My brother
right?
showed me that site though. I remember
Yeah.
Twisties.
I think I went on like just like a site that like what was it called? I can't remember. It was porn something, but it just like collected videos. I don't know what it was.
Mine was pinkcouch.com.
Nice.
I remember that.
Pinkcouch.com?
Pinkcouch.com. And I thought what was happening was the way I thought sex worked from the pinkcouch.com was a guy put his penis in the girl's butt and then she jumped up and down till he peed.
Well, you weren't wrong. You were just, close.
Yeah, and I went around, I was in first grade, I think, and then I went around to all the other first graders and I was like, hey, you know adults, they pee in each other's butts.
You learned calculus before you learned geometry. That's the problem.
Yeah,
When I
that's-
learned how to masturbate, it was such a like it was a clear warning sign that I would have had like drug problems later because like once I could hit that fun button, I wasn't stopping. And I was like, one of the ways that I would also get in trouble is I would find pictures that I really wanted to beat off to and then print them out in full color on our press. So like all the cartridges are empty like after one photo.
Yeah, my brother had a folder with his porn, like physical porn in it, that he like had hidden in his room, but he wrote on the front of the folder, porn folder. So like,
That's great.
Oh,
It's so crazy because even back then he had like chef organization.
Yeah, exactly.
He needed to do it. It was color coded.
yeah, like American Psycho shit.
That's I miss those early busts, man. Like nothing hits
See,
like
if we
those.
asked Zach what his first porn site, what is it, 4chan?
It was your first porn site was probably like full VR. Like you were like,
Yeah.
Zach was like, yeah, I remember that. I was 8 when I started gooning. And
I was
He was like, I just watched this like like a drone strike in the middle of the fucking Ukrainian death porn. I don't know what the kids watch these days.
Yeah, his post jerk off snack was Soylent.
Yeah.
Fucking.
oh my god.
What was it though, Zach? What was the first site?
It was a Tumblr thing.
Yeah, Tumblr.
so-
Okay, I remember.
Tumblr.
I remember when Tumblr stopped having porn.
Because and that actually is the beginning of gooning because it's
Yeah.
like the gifts just go
Non-stop,
forever. You just endless dope. You can find the perfect part and it just loop it.
Yeah.
I get it, man. I used to be a sex freak.
I remember. I remember Tumblr too because I would watch like Tumblr porn and I'd be like, see, these are the girls that are actually like I'd have a shot with, you know.
Yeah, you're like these are the realistic.
Sufficiently sad.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. One,
yeah.
I don't know if I've ever talked about this on a podcast, but the craziest, and it doesn't. I honestly don't. I try not to think about it, but my cousin was a very notable porn star in the mid 2000s.
Really?
I didn't know this.
What's her name? Just
Wait, I'll get to it. I'll let me paint the story because like
just write it down. Send it to me.
I'll say it on the podcast.
Okay.
Don't if you listen to this, please don't message her. But growing up, I had this. I won't say her real name, but like I had this cousin that I would see a lot growing up. She was the daughter of my dad's brother, and then her mom was a. Yeah, I don't know if she had the same mom as my cousin Taylor, but point is she was my cousin and I would see her a lot. And then I stopped seeing her because she went off, she got pregnant, she had like this boyfriend. She kind of became like estranged from the family. And I didn't think about her a lot. And then like towards the end of high school or after high school, there was one night where I was beating off to Pornhub, and there was, in Pornhub you have like the side, like other videos suggested for you. And I was high.
There are so many disclaimers.
Let
you
him
watching
cook.
your cousin fuck.
I got really stoned, and I was like, I'm gonna go jack off because it'll feel awesome. And so I'm watching a video, and then there's a woman in the thumbnail, like next to of like another video, and she's looking right at me, and it's freaking me out because she looks just like my cousin. Like,
Your
and I'm
cousin
like,
is Lois Griffin.
my cousin is Elastigirl. But,
Sorry, I'm done. What are you saying?
So, and I was like, I thought like I was getting like a message from God to like stop jerking off. It's like you're so high, you think this chick looks like your cousin. And then later, like throughout my life, I would like masturbate, and I would occasionally come across like this
Literally.
porn star, who looked just like my cousin, and it really freaked me out. After I moved to LA, I like came home one summer to like hang out with my dad, to hang out with my family, and my dad and my uncle and my cousin, like we all went out to get like breakfast somewhere, and the topic of my cousin came up. The girl, because my cousin Taylor was there with us, and his sister came up, and he was like, well, at least she didn't move out to LA and get into porn like, you know, your cousin did. And I was like, she does porn? And I was like, they were like, yeah. I was like, what's her name? And then they told me, and I looked it up, and I was like, oh my God, it was her the whole time. I was literally being haunted by
And you gooned to it.
No, I never. Every time I would come across
That
this
is
woman
so
who was my
implausible.
cousin, her name was Eve Lawrence, is the porn star. And like, dude, I mean, it freaked me out. Like,
Yeah.
it's still crazy.
That does give me the good idea. People should start splicing like an image into porn. It just says your grandmother's watching from heaven. Like,
Well, what are the odds of that, though, right? Like, I don't know.
yeah.
No,
That is crazy.
What are the odds that you didn't come to someone who you thought looked like your cousin? I would say probably about
Here's the
0
thing,
in 1,000.
I'm at least glad that I had the sense to be like, I'm glad that I stopped.
Yeah.
I don't think we're blood related. No, we are blood related because her dad is my. So yeah, so it's no good. All right. But thankfully,
Well, you're
I did
blood
not,
brothers now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys
Do you
ever,
see her ever?
No, not
Like in
she's
person?
not anymore.
Okay.
And certainly not online.
I have one-sided conversations. Why are you doing this?
Sometimes I talk to her in the shower.
Yeah. Sometimes I yell at the black guys in the video. I'm like, stop! Don't do that to her. Leave her alone.
Porn has been such a weird part of my life.
I think it's been a weird part of all of our lives.
But I've like been directly like related to it, like in many ways. I had a. Did I tell this story in the podcast? I had a girlfriend when I was in DC. We were in an open relationship, and she went and like she convinced me to be in like an open relationship with her. And then the minute I agreed to it, she was like, "I'm gonna go fuck that porn." She had an appointment to fuck the porn star James Dean, and then like write an article about it for a bunch of sites. Do you remember this? I don't know.
No, you've talked about this before.
Oh,
I
on the
think.
podcast?
Yeah.
Okay, then I won't bring it up
no,
again.
not on the podcast. No,
Oh.
tell this story because I don't remember it that well, but I'm remembering it as you're saying it.
I've told this story to other people, and they're like, "I remember that article." Yeah, she went off, and like I was like, she was like we started dating. She was older than me. It was a bad relationship, but she was like, "If you need to read The Ethical Slut if you're gonna date me." And I was like, "Okay, sure, yeah." And then she gave it to me. She never read it. So I was like, yeah. I was like, I'm evolved. I like open relationships. If my girlfriend wants to fuck the most famous male porn star, I think that's cool. It's hot, right? Like that was like in my head. I was like, it's cool.
That's
I was
how
like,
cum poisons your brain.
I was telling people I worked at Jimmy John's. I was telling my boss, I was like, dude, it was so crazy. I was literally telling my boss, I was like, yeah, my girlfriend, she's 14 years older than me. She's fucking with James Dean this weekend. So my boss, like this nice married man, like knew all this shit. He was like, gee, Nick, are you sure that's a good idea? So yeah, and so like she fucked this, and it was like it became an insanely popular video, and I like lost my mind. And I predictably, I had a total meltdown when it finally came out. It was insane. It was so bad.
I mean, he looks like kind of a dork.
What was the video called?
He's in a Paul Schrader movie.
Rebel Without a Cum? Is that what it was called?
It's called He's in it with Lindsay Lohan. It's called The Canyons.
Wait, there's Lindsay Lohan was in the porn?
No.
Oh, he's accused of sexual assault.
There's a million allegations against
Yeah.
He
He's
caught some
accused of being
allegations.
too good at his job.
He got accused of a sexual assault, and then like hilariously, a bunch of like feminists came out to defend him, and it was
Nice.
when it happened. There were a number of like Gabby, or now that person goes by Gabe Dunn, who was like super feminist, super woke. She was like, normally it's true, but about James, it's not true. I know him. He would never do this. I was like, all right, well.
She
Well,
leaned
come
up
on.
on him to.
Yeah, but yeah, that was like, so I've had like a weird relationship with porn my whole life.
Yeah.
I was an extra on a porn. I'm not gonna tell that story.
What? I mean, you can't goon us like that.
I've told it before, and I'm not gonna tell it again. I don't want this to be the porn podcast, dude.
Yeah, okay.
We'll save it.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's a weird relationship because it just you've got the potential for emotional scarring every time you open Pornhub.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
from two ways, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Except I don't care about I've deadened my emotions to the like I'm no longer emotionally attached to the person that made so like
Sure,
I wouldn't feel anything if I saw it. And my cousin I don't want to fuck, so I'm good.
Oh,
Yeah.
good, solid.
That's
can
called
watch
enlightenment.
It all I want. It doesn't even matter.
You've reached the final stage of your evolution. You
It's
can
like,
probably levitate if you just cross your legs
Yeah.
and thought about it. I mean,
honestly, it's like I get the same excitement from looking at the Windows XP background, dude. It's nothing to me, man.
you just waiting for the pixel to bounce directly into the corner, and that's when you bust.
God, this makes me think of my cousin getting fucked.
It's the background on my phone. I'm like, this is how much I don't care. Honestly,
You just jerk off to the pipes screensaver. You know, the one that keeps.
that
Yeah.
is hot. That
Yeah.
screensaver. That is.
They
That
should
one's
make one of
nice.
those that's just like a BBC that's just going in on itself.
Yeah, I wonder why they haven't made that.
Yeah, pipes. It's right there in the name.
Yeah, dude. Do you guys say? Do you say piped? I piped, or I got piped.
I don't have that kind of like self confidence. That's
I got.
Lay some pipe.
right,
You know,
it's fucking rude.
It's
And,
That was
like,
very-
I will code switch
You'll
into
code
like
switch?
because I worked with these like white trash dudes in high school that were cooks at the place I worked, and they had all sorts of like little like figures of speech that I would pick. Like, so if you get me in the right group of guys, I'll start talking about laying pipe. But on my own,
Not laying pipe. Laying pipe is very white. Piped is like Latino.
all right, well,
like
fuck you.
my Latino friend Daniel, he would talk about. He was like, me and her piped. We piped. I was like,
Oh, yeah.
I was just like, just say you fucked or had sex.
I've
man.
never heard just saying we piped.
Piped is
piped.
weird.
To me, that sounds
man.
like you smoked weed.
Yes, exactly.
Laying pipe is like it's to me my experience of it is like an older guy like checking in on you, being yo, you lay some pipe down. Yeah,
It doesn't. I still hate it though because it doesn't like the image of laying pipe does not.
I just think of my girlfriend and James Dean. Sorry.
No, I truly don't think about that at all anymore. And my eyes don't unfocus and go dark when I talk about it. Okay, so I don't want to hear that from people.
I don't
who-
get shark eyes.
Nick, we brought up porn. Nick just walked out of the apartment for the rest of the podcast.
He's been catatonic for the last 6 hours.
Yeah.
Fucking yeah, laying pipe. I just like if you say you laid pipe, I just don't believe you.
Yeah,
It
like,
doesn't
that is-
evoke fucking for like the
Yeah.
idea of laying pipe. I'm like, that's not the image in my head. Doesn't make like I don't think of like a.
I've done
a dick.
construction,
It
so I
sounds
think
like
of
you
digging.
hit her with a rod and then act like you fucked her. Yeah.
Yeah, I laid some pipe. Here it is. Put like a blood-stained lead. Yikes!
Yeah, I just don't
Spooky.
buy it.
Deep.
Spooky episode.
This is spooky.
It's like saying you drilled her. You know.
Yeah.
It's just too weird.
I just think we don't have the right words around sex in the English language. Like,
Yeah, it's
have
kinda
you ever
weird.
looked up like the French words for like penis and vagina?
No, what are
They're like nice. I think they're
They're
like
nice?
They like fit.
their word for orgasm is pretentious.
My
Their
word
words for everything is pretend. Like French is pretentious, kind of.
They call the an orgasm is le petit mort, like it means the little death.
Oh my
Like,
god!
shut the fuck
Damn,
up, you
dude.
loser.
French people just shoot spider webs out of their penis.
I kind of identify with the little death.
You would with your fucking Lou Reed tattoo. You're
Yeah.
like, oh, man.
It does feel like a little, you know.
No, I see. I get why they call it that.
My term for orgasming is squishing.
Squishing is nice.
Every time I'm gonna come, I yell, "I'm gonna squish."
No, it's like the little death because it's like, you know, right after it's like the part of you that was attracted to her dies.
That's
Le
very
petit mort.
Le petit mort. I mean, I do. No, I get it because it's like it's the one. It's like at least like when I was like real addicted to like sex and fucking. It's because it's like it's the one. It's like finally my brain will stop for 2 seconds.
Sure.
I can shut it off, right? But
Yeah.
that's not a good way to be.
I like listening to you talk about your hedonistic addicted to fucking days because to me like you're so put together, you know, you got your like
Are you kidding?
oh, you dress good, you got a crisp haircut. I feel like it's like
Appreciate that, but
not who I would expect to be like, yeah, dude.
I was
He used to be a fucking
dude. I was like, I mean, I was out of my mind. I was having like chemsex. It was like,
all right, well I don't even know what the
What
fuck
is
that is.
chemsex. Is
Thought
like,
that
it's
was a conspiracy.
No. Okay.
Oh, that's chemtrails, sorry.
Have you ever
blow
noticed
ropes over Iran?
Yeah, you give her
You're like,
chemtrails.
It's Nick.
the planes are leaving gossamer beads of cum in the air, man. We're breathing it in every day.
Yeah.
There's 3 gallons of semen in your lungs right now that the government.
How are you gonna
put
say
there.
gossamer and then pretend you don't like le petit mort?
You're right.
Yeah.
Well, no, I just like no, because like I wouldn't. My whole thing was like I wouldn't just like have sex because like having sex is one thing, but it was also like I want to have. I would want to have sex on like I'm like well I'm not having sex on like Molly or like Stims or acid. Am I really having sex? So I would get so fucked up on like psychedelics, stimulants, MDMA, and then just like also be fucking people who did that. Also people who were like, you know, just like grody, like
You're like a Billions or like a Succession character
without
but poor. Like the life you've lived is the same as like Kendall Roy, but you just had no money.
just doing it in a crack house. And
Yeah.
honestly, here's the thing: when you're on those drugs, you could be in a crack house, you could be in like a fucking mansion,
Yeah.
penthouse, like.
And then I would always be afraid that there'd be like a dead baby, like a train spotting situation. If I ever,
Yeah.
yeah,
That it is. I'm amazed my heart didn't explode. Like when I really think about it.
literally or metaphorically.
Because like I would like get so fucked. I remember like one time like this girl and I were fucking and we were like, we'd been doing Molly and like Adderall and all this shit, and then like I just like I didn't like the next day I was like something's wrong. Like I had like serotonin syndrome. My heart felt like it was gonna explode. I couldn't keep water down. And
I think you were sad. I think.
I was definitely trying to like fill a void for sure.
Yeah, it's funny. I think that there's a dude thing where when you have like intense emotions, we prescribe like physiological things. Be like, I don't know, something's wrong. Like, I gotta see a doctor. Like, my heart hurts. It's like, no, dude, your girlfriend just fucked a porn star. You're sad.
Well, no. I had been taxing my body with like stimulants. Like I think I had a heart rate of like 160 or something.
Oh yeah, that stimulant when you go on like a sex run on stimulants, it's because it's like you're fighting nature. Your body, your dick doesn't want to get hard.
Yeah.
Your body wants to go to sleep,
Well,
but
my
you're
dick-
like, I need to.
My dick could always get hard. I could always like come when I was like on like ecstasy or any of that stuff. Like I could do, which is why like I was like, and I know a lot of people couldn't. I don't know if I could now.
I like the
I'm an
eye
old man now.
contact when you said that though. I felt like we connected a little.
Well,
bit.
I respect you and I want to honor you with direct communication.
Hey Nick, my dick's hard right now.
Nice, dude.
No, I think. What if we found out? Like, what if we met one of Nick's friends from like DC, and they're like, "Yeah, dude, that dude's never fucked. Dude's literally a virgin."
Yeah.
Nick, yeah, the guy who's scared of drugs.
Yeah, no, you should come to that party with me.
I'm in a happy relationship. I've been in a committed relationship for like 4 years, dude.
Bring her along.
All right, yeah.
Let's bring girlfriends to go play Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Like cool guys.
Yeah,
My girlfriend's good at street. This is like I'm so like.
not against that homeless guy. She wasn't.
Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry.
No,
I
no,
love
no,
you. I
don't-
missed you.
I missed you too, dude. That was a funny joke. I'm not upset about it. I'm not thinking about it at all. No, my girlfriend. One of the things I'm proud of many things about my girlfriend. She's a wonderful, well-rounded woman, but she's good at Street Fighter.
Really?
She can do the combos. She can like do the special moves. I'm like, this is, dude. It was like, all right, this is the closest I'll ever get to like partaking in a cuck fan. I mean, I guess I literally did
Get cyber cucked?
I literally got cucked, but this is the closest I'll get to like sitting in a cuck chair. We were at Logan Arcade. We were at Logan
That's what these are.
Yeah.
That's why we have them. These are cuck chairs.
These are very ornate cuck chairs. They have a nice. There's a design philosophy to them that I
Well,
like.
we were trying to figure out what they were, and now it makes these are husband sitting in the corner chairs.
Absolutely.
Okay, sorry.
Well,
keep
we were
going.
at Logan and we were playing Street Fighter 3 and she beat me. And also, when you go to Logan, there's like a group of guys who like play competitively. It's like they like cycle out.
Oh, okay.
So my girlfriend beat me in Street Fighter 3, and then the group came in and like she started playing these guys who like play competitively, and she was like beating them, and they were like,
damn.
and then they kept taking turns with my girlfriend, and I had like I was like, this is cool. I was like, my girlfriend's these
You were like,
nerds,
no, keep going.
these nerds have no shot with her, and she's fucking kicking their asses
yeah.
at Street Fighter.
Hell
That
yeah.
rules.
Yeah,
That is hot.
it is. Yeah, I like to pimp my girlfriend out at the arcade, dude. But those skills. I taught her those skills.
Yeah.
I am. That is kind of like she is like a stable.
That's your $1 million baby.
She's my $1 million baby. That's right.
Hell
She's
yeah.
my bottom.
Yeah.
I would never call her a bitch, but. Let me see. How are we doing on time? 'Cause I know. Are we at an hour? Ooh, look at that! You guys want to bring this in for a landing?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
I'm gonna get my nipple pierced.
Yeah?
Is that a good landing? I'm
Yeah.
gonna get one nipple.
Are you doing the gay side or the straight side?
straight side?
Okay.
Every time I'm doing straight side nipple piercing.
Is it a thing for nipples too?
I don't know. I
I
imagine.
don't know, but I will not get the right one pierced.
And the whole side of my right body is gay. That's how I think about it.
Yeah.
Keep this hand away from people.
If I get the right nipple pierced, it'd be too much. Because somebody would bring it up. But yeah, I'm gonna get my nipple pierced. I'm just gonna not take a bath for like a year.
Sleep on your back like a vampire.
Yeah, I'm scared of it.
Yeah.
I'm nervous about it.
Because you
I,
can get
um,
ripped out.
Yeah,
We
well,
should go film it and release it with the podcast. It should be like a little special feature.
You know what's great?
I would actually be to do that. I think that
Yeah.
would be fun and funny to film my nipple getting pierced.
Zach, do you want to shoot this?
Yeah,
Hell yes.
we'd have to talk to them to see if they'd let us do
If they're
that.
cool with
Nice.
it.
But
Oh,
yeah,
dude, let's do like a whole like little like Safdie Brothers like mini documentary.
I'll get a Prince Albert for Patreon.
yeah. No, I think it's gonna be cool. Just to like, I just need something high commitment. I need to do something different.
I need to
with the
feel
next year
something.
in my life.
Interesting.
You know,
Yeah.
I need to spend a year worrying about something getting infected.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's what's gonna change.
I understand.
me.
I understand this thinking, man.
Yeah.
I vibe with that.
What kind of what are you
Bar.
gonna?
I'm gonna get a bar with the 2 little beads on it.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
And you know what's crazy? It seems like every woman has their nipple pierced.
You know what's gonna be
Nipple or
weird though?
nipples.
I feel like seeing nipple through t-shirt. I'm so associated with like seeing that on a girl and being like, fuck. And I'm gonna see Noah walking around the apartment. I'm just gonna catch the nipple ring through the t-shirt,
bar, yeah.
and I'm gonna get like a semi and be like, what the fuck is going on,
Dude,
You know?
I mean, just lean in. If Lily's cool with it, man, you know.
Yeah, I'm just trying to turn on dudes.
Yeah.
That's my.
That's funny
That's
that
what I'm
after
gonna
you.
do.
It's funny to do that after you've renounced the gay lifestyle.
Yeah, it is. Well, I just keep letting people know that it's in the back somewhere.
Right.
You know, what's that animal called? The evolutionary thing.
Oh, sneaker mail.
Sneaker
Sneaker
mail.
mail. I'm just doing that to my girlfriend
Yeah.
all the time.
Dude.
I get
Noah's the alpha
tired.
sneaker.
I get a limp wrist and
Yeah.
then just make my girlfriend feel safe so she doesn't leave.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yep. No, it's the sponge louse. That's what we were learning about. Is
The sponge louse?
And they basically the males. There's 3 kinds of male sponge lice. There's alpha males, beta males, and gamma males. And the alpha males have like elaborate weaponry, and they basically plug a hole of the sponge. They get a bunch of hoes and bitches in the sponge,
Right.
And then they guard it from all the other males. They're like, this is my harem of women. But then some of the males evolve to look like females. So then the guy's like, you can come in, you know, and then he goes in and then he just fucks all the girls. And then there's gamma males, which are so small that they just like can slip past that male.
That's
right.
me.
That's
Yeah,
you.
that's
That
who
is
I am.
100%. That's
yeah,
you.
that's who I am.
Yeah.
I can't believe that lice can act gay. That's like blowing my mind, dude.
Yeah, dude. I mean, what do you think?
Can you imagine having gay lice in your hair?
That's
You
what
wake up
Ben
with a
has
perm.
right now.
That's how I found out I was gay. they put it under a microscope. They're like, this is a gay louse. I hate to have this conversation, but maybe you should sit down.
That's crazy. I mean, listen. You know what, man? I guess if bugs can be trans, like, I mean, what are we so upset about? You
That
know?
would be crazy if that's how you would find out. Is like you just gay lice only like gay hair. So you're like you must be, literally
Oh my god, dude. Well,
gay lice. Is that the episode
I
name?
think that's the episode. I think we'll go with gay lice. Hell yeah, dude.
Right.
All right.
All right,
Cool.
boys. Thank you.
Yeah.